Hello. Okay, we're on. And we have Rex and Charles. Rex Crow and Charles from Orbitkey. Hi, guys.
Hello. How you doing? That was really good pronunciation.
Thank you. I've been practicing. I'm getting there. You should see what some people say about George's Rex. It's hilarious. It's all good.
Guys, Nancy Good.
Oh, well, I do get that. I've never heard that. I actually had somebody ask me if I've ever been called Gorgeous Georges, and I was like, every day.
Sorry.
No, but some people say Georgia, Nancy Georgia, some Giorgio. It's hilarious. It's like George with an S. But anyway, it's not about me. It's about you. So I thank you for joining us, and thank you so much for being the best winners of our first ever Innovation PitchFest. And I was talking along in the last video about what a great experience Innovation PitchFest is, but I wanted to see if you guys could just share quickly a little bit about how your experience was and why you even entered and where you saw it and why you entered, and the process of pitching, and how you went afterwards. And I'll ask you some questions at the end if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. So yeah, well, we first heard about the competition through one of your emails, Nancy, and obviously it was being the first one. We had no idea what to expect, and we didn't have any previous people that we could speak to. But you were very helpful right from the start with the whole competition, so that made it a lot easier for us. But the competition was shortly after our trade show in Sydney. Again, we weren't sure what to expect. We thought it would be a little bit like Shark Tank style.
It's so much nicer.
When we got there, what was that?
We're so much nicer than Shark Tank. It's not so scary like Shark Tank.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and everyone was really, really friendly. Like the judges were really friendly. How the structure we had it was there was three rounds of pitching. So we were provided guidelines on what to say in each round. So we tried our best to prepare beforehand and what we were going to say. But I think when it came to pitching time, like everything just went out the window. We just we just tried to be natural and just spoke about about our product, because it's we were passionate about it, and I guess we just went through the key points about our product. And yeah, I think it's not so much like yes, it's a pitching, but it's also like a conversation as well at the same time.
Very much.
The judges ask questions, and the audience asks questions as well. So yeah.
When we saw the competition, like there's a few things in mind that we put. The reason why we actually did it in the first place. For example, like the exposure to all the manufacturers overseas. Yes, we are a company that is selling our product already, but we feel like there is a lot more to learn in terms of manufacturing, and there's so much we can improve on. And knowing Tchibo is such a huge company, and they must have a lot of network to manufacturers that we could tap into. And gaining exposure, like knowing that Tchibo actually have almost 1,000 stores in Germany, and being able to actually be featured on their stores, that's like amazing.
And 15,000 concept stores, concept stores. Like you don't realize, like, 16,000 doors is huge, isn't it, for us?
Yeah.
For anyone really. But.
Yeah, exactly. So those two are probably one of the main reasons, and also just it's a new experience. Like we're a young company, and we just like to actually be out there and try new things, I guess, and the whole experience has been great.
Well, I actually saw you before I met you, didn't I? At the Gala Awards.
Yes.
You guys you were at the galas. You won awards. So what was the award that you won at the gala?
We won the innovation. So for live in style.
Obviously a theme, hey.
we were nominated for a couple of awards, but we won the innovation one, and I think that's the one that we really wanted to win anyway, because as a company that really focuses on design, it's something that we're really proud of achieving.
Yeah.
You were part of the Magic Act, weren't you, Carlos?
I was part of the magic act too. Yeah. So
Charles got on stage and said his name was Carlos, and I saw him the next day at Life in Style, and I said, "Oh, Carlos, you're on the stage," and he said, "Actually, my name's Charles." So he was traveling for a bit. It was hilarious. It was so funny. But so tell me about your product. You know, your product. You guys are. So for young people, I don't want to sound like an old granny, and I'm definitely not patronizing in saying this to you, but it is so admirable to see how you tackled developing your product, and you invested the time and you did the research, and you guys, for young guys, you got your head in the right direction, and I think that's a great thing, and that's definitely something that Tchibo recognized, and the other judges, we recognize that as well. Show us your product and tell us a bit about your product and where it came from, where the idea for Orbitkey came from.
Sure. So we focus on mission, and our mission is to actually make people love their keys, right? So there's a lot of problems that that people have to deal with. They have to put up with nowadays with normal key rings. You know, one is that it's noisy, it scratches your phones, and you know, it's just really unorganized and very uninspiring, I guess. And so what we sort of set is to actually, we're on a mission to create a system that solves all those problems. So instead of having your keys in a key ring, you actually stack it in this manner. Yeah. And there's actually a leather strap or a rubber strap that goes around it to stop it from scratching your other belongings when it's in your pocket or in your bag. And I guess the main reason why we started, you know, was because we love jogging, and you know, earlier on, like 2 years ago, we had this problem where, you know, we didn't really want to carry our keys in our pocket because it's noisy, and everyone will be like staring at you while you jog. So the very first thing that we did was we actually put together like the keys in a stack, and just use a screw and a nut to keep it together. So we were using that for a year or so, until we realized there's an opportunity in bringing in, you know, other features that's going to make key carrying a much better experience for everyone. So that's when we started thinking about, oh, what other things would you carry in your keys? You know, for example, you know, you got your USB drive there. You know,
yeah,
that lives in the system, and you got a bottle opener if you choose to carry a bottle opener with you. But the whole idea is to keep everything organized, and those little add-ons is just to add some more value to your key rings.
Excellent. Yeah. And how have you found? So you guys were already in store before you won PitchFest, because I've seen your product, and a couple of the judges actually own your product or bought your product. How have you found the experience? Do you learn a lot from the retailers about your product in store, or do you generally find that you're driving that design product story?
No, like I think we always try and get as much feedback as we can. Life in Style and Orbitkey fairs, it's been a huge part of where we are today. You know, we were already in stores, but that's because that was our second trade show. Our first one was the one in Melbourne, and through that we were able to get the product into a lot of stores, and we were able to get a lot of feedback through that. And you know, one of the things that we're working on was a display stand at the moment. So, you know, a lot of retailers will tell us, you know, sometimes it can be difficult to display, difficult to explain to the customers about the product. So that's why we worked on a new display stand, and you know, that's something.
That's behind you, isn't it? Is that what's behind? Yeah, I saw that. I got my glasses.
Placed it there, so we could show it off.
Do you know, it's interesting you say that, because at Top 3, when we saw it in the Chatswood store, in the Willoughby store, right after PitchFest, we went, and it was very exciting because, you know, I love seeing product that we know or people that we know in store, and they had it flat on a table, so we actually did like a little display for you. And I was like, oh, that's great. So, and tell me about the experience. I mean, winning. You know, you guys have seen your picture. I've used your picture with the logo on everything at the moment because your face is gold, and I've still got that picture where we said who the second prize winner was, and then you realized that you had won, and you're like, Charles, you're hugging Rex. I'll share that. I love that. It's one of my favorite pictures. So after PitchFest and going to Hong Kong with Tchibo, you were talking to me, we were talking before, Charles. Could you tell everybody how you found that Hong Kong experience with the Tchibo team at Tchibo HQ?
Well, I mean, what's the complaint about going to Hong Kong for free? But no, like that, going to Hong Kong, just the travel itself, you know, like it's great. But what's even better is that the exposure that we get into you know, finding out more about how a big company like Tchibo works, and the sourcing team over there. You know, like if your product is being sourced by them, you just, you know, you can basically just, you know, like lay back and just relax, because they have so many people working on the sourcing department, and a lot of the departments are actually segregated into like different areas. So electronics will be sourced by one team, and soft goods will be sourced by another team, and you know, like this homewares, if it's a homeware product, it will be sourced by another, you know, another team as well. So I think just that insight into how the company works, that was great. And you know, the hosts, Bastian and Thomas from Tchibo, they're also great hosts. You know, they show us around. They put together like a list of shops that we could visit and check out, and that was really awesome, because almost all the shops that we visited, there were about 20 of them. We just went, wow, we could see our product in there, you know, and it was such a great opportunity for us to know a little bit about the market in Hong Kong, and to even just get some contacts from the shopkeepers and shop owners sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I think that's opened up a lot of opportunities for us.
Fantastic. Well, it's good to see. I think that the thing is, sometimes you can see people are given an opportunity, but you guys are really taking it to the next level. And it's great to see that you really are pursuing all the leads and opportunities that are coming your way. I think when you're in a store with Bastian, it is when you see how Bastian sees product, it's an amazing experience, isn't it?
Yeah. He's definitely got an eye for it.
Sorry?
He's got an eye for it.
Oh, it's just and the most random thing, he'll go, "That's really good," or because you know, I come from a product development background, and I sat there. I can't remember what the product was, but I remember Michael, Bastian, and I sat there, and we could do that, and you could put that on, and I thought, oh my God, these guys could actually really make this. You know, you can sit around a table and go, oh, wouldn't it be good if we could do this? But you know, Tchibo have this capability where they really can make it, and I think what you said was interesting, Charles. I think as product developers, we need to know how companies like that purchase as well, because sometimes you have a product that you see can go into here, here, and here, but then when you realize that's actually 3 different buying groups, or, you know, I think all of that really helps you get some sales at the end of the day and build your brand as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So if I said to you both, what do you think were the biggest things that you got out of the whole Innovation PitchFest program or process? What would you say?
It's hard to justify just like one thing. I thought that the pitching part was a really good experience himself. Like we've never done anything like that. Like at the trade shows, like you do talk about your product, but you don't do it in front of an audience, I guess. So that was an interesting experience. And also, I guess going to Hong Kong, like, you know, that's also a great experience as well. Yeah,
I think just being, again, you know, like being exposed to like just the insight into how a big company works. I think that for me anyway, like as a designer, I just went like, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, you know,
makes you want to move to Hong Kong, doesn't it? That trip.
yeah. I mean, there's you know, there are a lot of designers out there that, you know, they have good ideas, but sometimes, you know, it's hard to actually bring it into reality. And for those instances, I think, you know, Tchibo Innovation PitchFest, it's probably, you know, it's the right right platform to be in, you know, because Tchibo, they're a company promoting innovation. You know, they want new ideas, good ideas, good products, and you know, as a designer, you have good ideas, so you know, it just works, I guess.
And I think that's the thing, you know, we're seeing this, and we spoke briefly about this before. We need to realize that the retail model is changing, and retailers are becoming their own supply chain, if you like, and a lot of good retailers are taking responsibility in charge of their own product development, not just purchasing it. And I think for designers, I think there's some designers who are great business people who can build a brand and take off with that brand, and I think you guys are definitely in that group. I think there's also designers who just want to be designers, and not just want to, you know, simply want to be designers and don't want to be business developers, and don't have that, and they need to partner with people like Reed Gift Fairs or Reed Exhibitions and Tchibo, because you then can, that's your channel. And I think, you know, people who have this idea in the back of their head, you know, I'd really like to be a designer, or I've got some great ideas to see to fruition. I think those people really owe it to themselves to see where something like that goes. And I'm glad you said that about PitchFest, because it's why I thought of it initially, and I took it to Tchibo and Reed for exactly that reason, because I thought there's so many clever people who, you know, our market is so limited. It's a great market, but it's very limited. So I think that's the big thing, whether it's an actual product or an idea. You need to enter Innovation PitchFest, because it's just a great experience, I think. And if you want the feedback, you know, the judges and people involved will give you feedback on your product and give you some advice. I know Deb and Tara were really open to helping, and they're very, very open to the process. So, you know, take advantage of all the resources that are there. And you guys know us, and you have our contact details, so we're part of your brains trust from now on. So it is a really great experience. So deadline's closed tomorrow. Deadline is tomorrow for submitting your entry. So please just do it, and then figure out the rest when we receive your product.
That's what we did, actually.
Right, because you're sitting there. Yeah. I look forward to sharing your journey and sharing your story more, guys. And definitely, I will see you in Melbourne, because you're at Life and Style again, aren't you?
Yes, we will be.
Perfect. And so, do you know your stand number yet?
We will.
It's somewhere. Yeah.
We'll add it to the description. So,
hang on a second. Look what I got.
Perfect.
Oh, there you go. It's stand T348.
T348. I'll put that. T348. Nice. I'll add that. The description of this Google Hangout has a link to your website, and it's also got the link to the Innovation PitchFest page and the information. So hang on the line for me, guys, for 2 secs. And for everybody else, thanks for watching. You know, these guys are fantastic. If you don't have their product in your store already, do so. If you are somebody who is thinking about design, use them as your inspiration and get into PitchFest. Thanks.
Thanks, Nancy.